Hello, everybody. Nice to see you guys again. I took almost a month break on YouTube, but I'm back. And the reason being is actually was busy with real estate and I sold 2 homes. I closed 2 escrows back to back. So that's why. But that is another story to share, to tell later on. So today we're talking about, we're going to discuss and share our personal experience on Trump's executive orders and new policies. He has been sworn in as president. What? It's not even a month yet, and a lot of things are already going on. A lot of changes already happening. And the reason for this show is I want to bring awareness, consciousness to everybody, and be curious and questioning everything that we experience on TV, on media, on politics, day-to-day life. And so if you're new here, my name is Shelbe Chang, and this live is on YouTube, on X, and on Facebook. So if you're on YouTube, you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel and share this live video if you know anybody who will be interested in this type of topic. We try to go on every Friday night, and Thomas, which is my friend, he will be joining us in a bit. But before he jumps in, I'm just gonna share some of my own personal experience after Trump swore in and the effect on my life. Actually, it's pretty positive. So let's start with the January 20th. I'm sure many people are glued to the TV in early morning. I did too, and that was actually my first time watching the ceremony. And this time was indoor, and I heard that they broke the view of the ceremony. So that's very interesting. Um, Following that, on the same day, on the day one, okay, President Trump signed a lot of executive orders, and there's a few major ones that I want to point it out. It's kind of related to me personally, and this is an open platform. So if you guys have any feedbacks or if you want to share, Evan Martin, just comment it. Thank you. Um, so first of all, as we kind of see it's already playing out these past 2 weeks, is the border security. So Trump sent, I believe, it's 10,000 additional ICE agents or troops to secure our borders. And this has never happened before, especially after 4 years of open border policy. And a lot of people are against it, right? Anti for this border to be secure. However, my point is, I think it's necessary because a lot of people feel unsafe, a lot of violence, and it's not like I'm not agree to immigration. I am also an immigrant, but I'm illegally here. My parents and my sister came to the U.S. in the late 80s, and it took us 10 years on the waiting list to do all the documents to be here legally. 10 years. Okay, it's not easy back then. So, however, my point is, of course, we support immigrants. This is what I believe. This is what American foundation is built. However, if you come here illegally, then that's a different story. Plus, if you have criminal background, like feel like, let's say, I'm not trying to be any particular mention particular countries, but if you are in your country and you commit a crime, and they are just people dumping, criminal dumping to our country. Imagine that. Our street is not going to be safe. If you have a kids, it's not going to be safe, let alone like economies, because there's going to be a lot of robbers, as we saw the last past few years. There's a lot of people who break into the mall, break into the store, even break into people's home. That's very, very terrifying, right? And by doing this, I want to share some video on X, and this is a short video on X, and it's showing like people are, protesting about border security. I don't understand because we're trying to have a safe place for everybody, and they are protesting, and the violence occurred. Okay, I want to show this video. Give me 1 second. Um, doesn't look like it's completely playing. Anyway, so my point is the video, a lot of news are showing violence, and even in LA, they protest on the freeway, and they stop the traffic. That's kind of danger, and they become violence. So when I was watching this, my first question in my head is, okay, if you're illegal here, doesn't matter, you're protesting, you're supporting, and if you cause violence, cause dangers to yourself and to others, people, other citizens, then then you think people are gonna support you? I don't think so. You just cause more problem for this whole security that makes people thinking, yes, we do need border security, right? Does that make sense? So, okay, Trump keeps America great again. Thank you, Evan Martin. Yes, so he not just keep American great again. He's gonna keep Americans safe again and keep American healthy again. So that's another part that I am rooting for is the health, and this is gonna be coming from RFK Jr. And my personal experience, as if you guys follow me for a while, my mom passed 2 years ago due to breast cancer. So long story short, after her passing, I do realize our medical, our pharmaceutical, it's not what we believe to be. Okay, because I feel a lot of those companies are just like a salesperson. If you guys hate sales, you guys hate people selling or do something like try to get a buck from you. And this is how I feel after my mom passed, because even though I do appreciate, I do be grateful for some of the doctor. However, the system is broken. Some of the doctor is not ethical. Okay, it's about building codes. To be honest with you, it is about building code. And if you're sick, and if they can refer you to different specialists, then they get paid more. Okay, so but in order to fix this, we have to go into the foundation, which is what we eat, what we consume daily. Our food, our diet is more important than anything. And as probably you guys probably saw a lot of posts about ingredients. Our food, our cereal ingredient is actually more, a lot more poison in compared to other countries, right? So, okay, I think I have Thomas on. I'm gonna have him jump in. Hello, Thomas. I don't think Thomas can hear me yet. Thomas. Can you hear me? Hi, Thomas.
There we go.
Here
I
we
wanted to
go.
get my
So,
microphone turned on. I hear you good. How you doing?
Good, good. We're live, and I was just talking to everybody about make America healthy again. So, um, yeah, so I'm kind of writing down my list about this new part, like after Trump sworn in and a lot of changes, just within not even a month yet. So, so the thing I was talking about was border security, and I talk about pharmaceutical. RFK Jr. is going to be in charge for this. So I'm just going to run one more thing and then I'll ask you what's your thought on it. Okay. So the next thing that I'm actually, it's not happening yet, but I'm looking forward to it is this classified information on MLK, JFK, and RFK. And why this is interesting or why this is important is because there's so many things that it's hidden from the public, and there's so many things. It's not just about corrupt, it's just too many secrets, from why they got assassinated. Nobody really know. They told a narrative that for us to believe, again, questioning everything, right? We have to question everything. So I believe there's a lot more story to these three people in the past who got assassinated. And I really believe if you really look at it, each person is related, still affecting our governmency, our policy up until today, right? And another one I'm looking forward to declassify is the alien or UFO, uh, Area 51 stuff. That will be really interesting. I think that will be from a spiritual perspective. I heard there's a time traveler mentioned that it will all come out in 2028. When I first saw that video, it's kind of unbelievable. But now, since Trump is the president, and do see the pattern that he's very out there. He's want to make a change. He's not afraid of people even disagree with him. He just go for it. And if he can release MLK, JFK, RFK, then I'm sure he can also release UFO, aliens, classified information. So I'm looking forward to those two. Okay, Thomas, how's your new year so far? Because we
So
haven't.
far, it's been busy. Been helping a friend uh, prepare his mom's home and repair some fences and stuff
Good,
while
good.
hitting the gym again. So I'm all sore
Nice, nice.
because
Yeah,
feel a little beat
yes.
up.
Yes, to be healthy again is gym exercise part of it. So it's good. All right. So, do you have what's your thought about the executive orders, new policies? Is there any one of them that stands out for you personally?
For me personally,
Yes.
yeah, the one that stands out for me personally
Mm,
is the executive order declaring a national energy emergency
okay.
because that kind of aligns with some of my future plans I want to get to
Sure.
once I
Okay.
get my businesses going and whatnot. That's the
Mm,
one I really want to. That's the one I've really been looking at right now, reading.
okay. Sure.
But
Okay.
there, I looked at the list of all the executive orders he signed, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, they were ready. Um,
So, yes. Okay. So my other thing is because I don't know if you remember the TikTok was was banned in the USA for I think overnight, right? Like a couple hours, and then it came back. And I think he made it a extension, I believe, 90 days. And I do believe he's a businessman, so he put TikTok as a negotiation, leveraging, with China. So I really believe he may mention even mentioned that if China can, have 50% share with TikTok on with the U.S. government, then it's worth a lot of money. But if not, then it's worth nothing. You know what I mean? So that's a big difference. And I do see he also used a tariff towards Canada and Mexico, and it really works because originally he's gonna put 25% tariff on both countries, and but then they came
As
to
well
a
as China as well.
negotiation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
they came to a negotiation, to secure the border, especially Canada. I mean, especially Mexico. Sorry. Yeah, with the cartels and fentanyls. Yeah, so he used this leverage to negotiate with many different things on the table right now. So, what else? What else do
Yeah,
you have?
I looked at a lot of what he's. I looked at all the. I read through all the statement blurbs on the executive orders he put out, and
Mhm,
um, I'm gonna be honest. Two things jumped out at me after going through all the ones that were put out so far. They
mhm.
are they are supremely serious about the border issue.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that they're extremely serious about the border issue and national
Of course.
security and
Yeah.
you know how it's been handled and mishandled. They're
Mhm.
extremely serious about the border issue. That
Yes.
is not going away. It's just going to get. It's going to get. The border is going to get a great deal more military presence and
Mhm.
oversight,
Right.
and they're extremely serious about the fallout from the woke issues that sprung up over the last 6 years.
Mm.
It they're really serious about taking a position on that because they felt attacked and they're pushing back. You're not gonna change it. Then the best thing you can do is figure out how to work within the new framework that's coming down the line. There's
To
going to be a lot of
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of crying and fallout from it. There's no doubt because what has been is no longer.
Yeah.
I
It,
don't see where they targeted transgenders specifically to hurt them, but
mm.
I do see what they've done, and that's to curtail the gender affirming care for minors.
Yes. So
Outside
this
of that,
is
as long as you're 19 and over, you do whatever
yeah.
the hell you want, except for use the bathroom.
Okay. So this is what my personal take is. He said America is only gonna recognize man and woman. That's what he said in the
It's fallout
inauguration.
from yeah, and
And so
it's sad, but it's not something that almost every other country in the world has already done. You know, there's a clear definition with that almost worldwide, legally, legally. So it's not something that's new. It's just something we've never taken. It's just something the country's never taken a stance on, and they did because a lot of a lot of gender identity
mm,
advocates pushed using the law to force people to adhere, and it it's going to come back next presidential election. It's going to come back. You're probably going to see it for the next 10 presidential elections, back and forth. It's going to
I
come back
yeah.
because
So
I
my
mean
yeah. So
he
my
pencil whipped
my
out a lot of Biden stuff, so the next president can do the
yeah.
exact same thing.
So my take is what you said partially I agree. So it's like I feel I feel it's like finally we can put this issue if it's an issue to rest, because 4 years ago we're not even nobody cares, right? So right,
Yeah, before this
it's only
election,
it's only 1%. So
before
like
this election, nobody really gave a shit. And then
no,
this election came up,
I
and
mean, because the last 4 years, like you said, it's been push, 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 and I do see a pattern. Like on the left, I just had a friend. I mean, a colleague, a film colleague. He he messaged me because he saw my post on the USA. We'll talk about that later. But he saw my post on X on for the USA, and he said. Uh, he's disappointed in me. And
yeah,
he said, I have a lot of respect from you. See, so I do see a pattern because, and I reply, I respect everybody's point of view, everybody's view and opinions. And see, like, definitely that this person is more left wingers. So I do see like what you said. They want to they don't want to hear you. They just want to push, you know, their point of view onto you. And if you don't follow, then we're not friends anymore. So you know what I mean? So it kind of what you just can you hear me with this new with your earphone?
yeah, I hear you good with these on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but it become very echoish. So
Oh,
yeah. Okay, and also I I want to share this if I can. Let me see. Earlier I tried to share, but I couldn't. So let me see if I can share this one. Can you see? Okay. Yeah, it's on the screen. So this post, from my friend, and then I respond because I mentioned Trump is a business person, right? So I say he's a businessman, so everything to him is negotiation, strategy, and skills. Perhaps trans people might dissolve the difference by going in with this approach instead of fighting for it, fighting against it. And I get a backslash. If you guys can read it, this is pretty long. I didn't really finish the whole comment. I already understand this person what she trying to do. Okay, she trying to point it out, and nothing wrong with that. Okay, and the only part that I don't agree is she became very personal attack, as you can see towards the end, right? So this is what I respond. Her name is Jenny. So Jenny, you are so good at identifying and focusing on all the problems that you can find. So what's your solution? And I and I say crying, playing like a victim, or personal attacking any and I is not going to solve anything. You just create more problems for you to complain about. And that's her reality because I was actually kind of offering a possibility solution right here. If anyone who can talk to Trump or near Trump, maybe they can negotiate because I do see a pattern because remember 4 years ago, Facebook banned him, Twitter banned him, Elon Musk wasn't supporting him, and now you see he's all friends with them now, right? So he is not really black and white, set in stone. It's flexible. It's just depending how you approach him. You know what I mean? And of course, nobody want to be humanely, be disrespectful. But so this is what I feel that about towards the trans people, and I really feel I it didn't change me. It didn't change my life. It didn't affect my life. I'm still doing my things. I'm still doing my business, and actually, my business got better since he got elected. So yeah. All right. So what else do you have? What's your thought on this one? Because I kind of jump in right into to what you were saying. So what do you think?
On that one, I mean, I totally agree. It's, these are issues that, in my opinion, these are all issues transfer should have got involved in with the negotiations and the wording, the concepts, and the beliefs from the very beginning, and not let somebody else narrate what it was. One, and then two, totally devoid the conversation from feelings. Get
Mm-hmm,
and adopt a mindset of perspective versus perception.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay, true. Yes, yes.
because on one hand you have perception. That's all about how you feel, what you think.
Yeah, yeah.
Perspective involves how they feel, what they think, and they never. And you really want to. This is a big issue, a big deal. You should have been involved. Instead, you let somebody else direct the narrative on what they thought it should be, and they lost. I remember when we were talking about the elections.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Harris ran on feelings. She ran on perception.
Yeah.
Trump ran on perspective.
Mm. Yes.
What everybody else was feeling and what they were thinking according to what was being told to them and pushed on. It, it happens all the time, and a lot of times it's hard to get out of that box when you get in it because emotions run high. You want to be heard. Everybody wants to be heard, but if you're not
Mm.
paying attention to what the people you want to be heard, you want to hear you, are telling you that they're hearing, you you're failing it. You're gonna lose out on the whole situation because it was your responsibility to make sure they were understanding what you were trying to say. You're the one who want to say it, but you have to make sure that they really understand what you're trying to say, not trying to force them to just accept it. So
Yes.
we're gonna see it pop up again. And as
Yeah.
far as and that the post
Mm.
the post the kind lady sent you is
Response. Yeah.
her response is a classic example of perception versus perspective.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I read it.
You
It
read
was
it?
blatant in the first couple lines. You know, and
Yeah.
it's there's a million problems going on, and what you're
Uh,
going to see is we're going to see a lot of changes over the next couple years. We'll see how
yes.
that works out.
Yeah.
But if you're not
So,
moving to
right.
be involved with it,
And another one I want to mention is one actually also film colleague. So
colleagues.
they colleagues, yeah. So
Oh,
he
colleagues.
yeah. So he knows that I support Trump. So what he sent me is, what would you? Because he saw the news about took the huge step towards burying biological men from competing with women's sports. So he sent that to me, and then with a comment, what would you do if he banned transgender from real estate? Would you still support him?
They didn't
So
ban transgenders from anything
yeah, so
except
my so I wanna yeah, I'll go to. So I was like, when I read that, so my first thinking is, first of all, uh that there's not many trans person in real estate business to even bother anybody. That's one thing, right? Second of
yeah,
all, when I conduct business as for real estate, I don't even need or to announce anybody about who I am. as long as can take care of business, as long as can help the clients, as long as can make the broker happy, everybody's win, 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 win. So doesn't matter who am I can be a man, I can be a woman, I can be whatever, as long as take care of business. That's all I matter in the business world. Correct? You know that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's my
that's,
thought.
that's why a lot of people take offense to it because people get funky and they get all bent out of shape when they, because there are some people who get upset, but
Mhm.
there's and they're like, oh, I don't want anything to do with that, or I don't want anything to do with it. That's your choice.
Yeah.
That's your choice. As long as you're not
Hmm.
infringing on that other person's rights,
Right.
that's your choice.
Yes.
You know, and if there are people like, well, I shouldn't have to lose business because there's a million other reasons why you can lose business, and I guarantee you, a lot of them deal around. Oh, you're a woman, you're black, you're white, you're short, you're tall, you're fat, you smell.
Okay.
There's a lot of there's a lot of reasons. I mean, when it comes to that, this when you start picking and choosing though, you're gonna that's when you start digging yourself into a hole. And there's a few places where I see the Trump administration um, put landmines in their own way, but we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I say something on the other video. I said 2025 is gonna be has a lot of changes, and it
Mm,
gonna feel like a chaotic, but it's going to it's gonna change a lot of things towards better things. But in order before this is what I said. Before we have a breakthrough, we need to have a breakdown first, right? So, and then we see this happening right now with
yeah,
um,
I
all
mean, the one
the
place
executive
I
order.
see where there's
Hmm.
going to be a real direct impact that's gonna uh, have a big effect and make
Hmm.
real problems for
Hmm.
the future is their complete and disregard with the dismantle of the DEI. And
Oh,
they try to frame it as we're going to make it a meritocracy. We're going to swap it out for meritocracy type setup. And the problem with that is who's judging the meritocracy? What are the standards you're going to have to judge the meritocracy? Because those have been tried before and they failed miserably. Hence the reason DEI. And when I say DEI, I don't mean the the gender based the gender affirmation based part of DEI, which is really what torpedoed DEI in the first place. I mean, when they say they're dismantling DEI, there's a lot of people that have been trying to get rid of DEI for a long time since its inception, and they've always been saying it's wrong because it's discriminatory against white men, and yet most places are still predominantly run and controlled by white men all throughout the whole DEI.
mm,
So I don't see where it was discriminatory, but here's the thing: DEI's biggest proponent or biggest winner were white women.
I for me personally, I think DEI is just an extra layer to protect certain communities, certain group of people, which I understand, and it's not really catered to LGBTQ. It's more, more broad, right?
Yeah,
Pool,
there were a
pool,
lot of good
pool
things that
people.
came that were about that came about because of DEI. But there were a lot of people that felt slighted by the DEI because they felt slighted because they didn't get in. And it's mostly a lot of a lot of white people felt slighted because they didn't get into college. And and they say, well, the DEI person got into college and I didn't, and they immediately blame that person for why they didn't get into college. And it's like, are you sure you were qualified to go to that school? Because there's a lot of people who aren't white didn't get in that college either. But you don't see them saying, they didn't get in because there weren't no DEI slots available.
Well, I really believe, my personal belief, okay? I really believe if you have the experience or skills, doesn't matter who you are, what color, what sexuality or identity you are, you can, you just like I said earlier about my business, they don't care who you are as long as you can take care of the
They do care
business,
who you are,
you know.
and
So no, well, I
you
say, I say,
you can
I no
make
no,
yourself.
I
And
said,
go ahead, bro.
listen, I said my personal point of view. So,
Yeah,
okay.
no,
I said, yeah.
I get it.
So,
I get it.
yeah.
But
So, so
ideally,
my, yeah, I understand. So my experience throughout the years of doing business, I never have to worry about because of who I am and who I'm not. As long as can get the job done, then that's it. You know, and
yeah, no,
I agree, and
I totally feel you on that.
I fully understand and agree with you on certain point about the workplace sometimes is not fair or whatever. I do I experienced it myself before too, and that's what makes me want to become better. That's actually the drive. I use that as a drive for me, because I used to not speak very good English worse than right now, put it that way. So
Yeah,
I was,
yeah,
yeah,
I totally
so
understand. But
yeah,
I
so
didn't have a
I
choice in
was,
that. I had to be better.
so I was discriminated because of that. And again, that I use that as my motivation, my drive to be better. So yeah, so I understand where you're coming from. Okay, do you have any more that you can share with?
No, now,
No.
what was the next topic? So
The
we got
next
the
topic
DEI.
is foreign aid. I also
What? Foreign
the
aid?
yeah, US aid, USAID.
Oh,
This one,
I'm not going to argue with that one on there. I I have
this,
never had the position that supported all of
mm,
the rampant foreign aid our country has done for the past
mm.
70 years.
I
So,
okay, I understand. Yes, and well, my only comment online, I don't like. Let me see. Anyways,
alignment.
the only comment online I put out is because people thinking like he cut the program. That means that we don't want to help anyone. We don't want to help the world. But actually, is a different, like you said, different perspective. I really think it's because of corruption.
Yeah,
I
it's
really think it's
huge.
he shut it down is because of money laundering reason, not because we don't want to help other countries. You
Oh,
know
there
what I
were a
mean?
million reasons to shut down all those foreign aid programs. We we supported governments we should have never had anything to do with as they were set up. You know, we supported governments that our people would deliver the stuff, and you would literally watch shit we delivered for the people get picked up by a certain group from the government and just carted off time and time again. It's our foreign aid policy and what we've done. We wanted to help, and that's a great cause. But we
Mhm,
were just throwing stuff away. And then you're right, the corruption and the graft
mhm,
was just it was just monumental.
mhm.
I'd say a good third of the aid we sent out never even went to where it was supposed to.
Exactly. That's crazy.
And it's just terrible because we're sitting there saying, "Oh, we're helping, we're doing this, we're doing
Mhm.
that. It's a great cause," and
Right.
yet you got so many Americans like, "Okay, how are we really helping?" And nobody can answer that. The people that are
Yeah.
sending it and writing the checks don't even know how we're really helping. They don't know who we're helping. They don't know what's being done with the money or the materials or the resources. They just know it left the US.
We don't need to talk about left US. How about let's just talk about the LA fire? You were very close to it. So, Gavin Newsom lost, what is it, 24 billions or 24 millions?
He didn't lose
That
it.
was supposedly towards homeless, helping homeless, reduce
He didn't
homelessness.
lose it.
And then
He
now,
didn't
go ahead.
lose it. Hey, we live in California. We'll just put that on the side. He didn't
No,
lose it.
it's
He
missing
said
right
he
here.
lost it, but he didn't lose it.
It's
Because
missing.
you and I both drive all over LA County doing stuff, taking care of business, visiting friends and family, and it's I mean, even when I was a child, it was never as bad as it is now. He didn't lose that 24 billion.
Then where is it?
Yeah, we just let's be smart. We're nobodies. They may not care what we say, but somebody might get a stick up their butt. And I don't want that person to be me or you.
Oh, I don't care. I'm an
You
outspoken person. I don't really care because,
know,
again,
where is it?
I
To be honest with you, I can't answer.
before you come on this live, I was telling everyone the purpose of this show is to trigger everybody's curiosity, question everything, be childlike. So, that's
I
why
like to
I'm
believe that they're
questioning.
not
That's why
stupid,
I'm
but
questioning everything. Where is the 24 billions?
yeah, yeah. I like
Yeah.
to believe
So
that they're not stupid, but I'll be straight up honest with you. Um, he he funneled a lot of that into his next campaign because he's planning on running for president.
oh
Everybody knows
gosh,
that.
please
He
don't.
funneled a lot more. He
Please
funneled
don't.
more of it into contracts for certain individuals to do things that they didn't need. He overpaid for this, overpaid for that, did this, did that, but did not help the homeless. What they do for the homeless? They gave them sleeping bags and tents.
And a free cell phone.
Yeah, and a free cell phone. Sleeping bags, tents, and a free cell phone. I'm
And
like, wow, you'd been better off giving them those crappy cheese and crackers we used to get as kids.
no, they don't get cracker. They get different kind of cracker. they get they get the
There's a
different
lot of things they could have
different
done.
different kind of cracker.
There's a
Right.
lot of things he could have done that would have, in my opinion, there's a lot of things he could have done with that money that would have been way better towards helping
Mm,
him prepare for his run for the presidency by actually helping people. Get a lot of those people off the freaking streets. Um, bring back the bring back all the institutions you shut down that we used to have all the people in who had mental issues and drug issues. We had tons of those institutions all over the state, but they shut them down and got rid of them so they could use that money for other shit.
for his kickbacks.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I said it, so don't worry. If
yeah.
anything,
No, I'm not
come
gonna.
after
I'm not.
me,
I don't
come
disagree,
after
and I'm
me.
not gonna say yeah, that's not what happened
I
because
know.
I don't
So that's
support that
why
guy one bit.
that's why I said it. So if anything, come to me. I don't care. Yeah, that's how it is.
This one,
So
it's one of those things. It's he's been terrible. You know,
yeah, I know. What the
he's been outright
he's
terrible.
I know. So
But people are
did
voting for him.
can I ask you? Did you guys, you and your family end up have to evacuate
No,
for
we
the
came
fire?
close. It came close, but no, we didn't have to actually evacuate. But I mean, you could
Oh,
see. I mean, it's just a couple blocks from us. You can just drive
mm,
a couple blocks and you can see.
see the damages.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
you see.
So, mhm,
It's. And I haven't been deep into the areas, but
mhm. Okay.
it's something that's been on the cusp or in the winds for you know every single year, and we should have never been in this position.
Mhm.
We should have never had a problem dealing with
Mm.
this issue,
Okay.
but we did.
So, uh, Trump came to California, like I think the third or second day after he swore in, and then they were argue about rebuild because it's gonna take a long, long time for rebuild because due to permits. And I think you're more familiar with me compared to me on the permits, right? You have to have a
It's
lot of
gonna
different kind of permit, different layers,
all of those
regulations.
people that lost their homes and lost
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah,
You are gonna see so many people just destroyed, just
yeah.
outright destroyed.
Lost everything, gone.
Yeah, they lost everything, just destroyed from this because it
Mm-hmm.
takes you got to get multiple permits from multiple agencies
Agencies.
and whatnot
Hmm.
just to clean up the
Oh yeah,
damage.
yes, yeah.
Just to clean up the
Mm.
damage, you got to do that. And then you got to, and that shit, you're talking like it's easy anywhere from a couple hundred, anywhere from well, not even a couple $100. It's easy anywhere from like $1,000.
Mm.
Say you did it yourself, you're
Hmm.
still gonna spend close to $1,000 if you did it yourself. You picked up everything, cleaned up, and put it in trailers, and took it to the appropriate places, which
Mm.
half of them you have to pay to dump.
Mm.
It's easy to spend $1,000. You know, it's gonna take you a couple days. Then, then you got to get the property inspected to see to see what legally has to be done, this or that, so you can, because you just cleaned up.
I
You still haven't removed the damaged portion of the structures that are still there.
I think you cannot clean up if you have insurance. They have to send the people to, to inspect for the claim first. So it's gonna take longer than that if
Yeah,
you put
that's going
that
to take
part in.
even longer because that's you're
Yeah, you
talking
can.
about thousands of homes. And
Yeah,
these insurance
they don't
companies that
have.
are still here probably sent maybe 100 people altogether.
Okay.
200. I know they didn't. I know there's not more than 200 people running around right now
Mm-hmm.
altogether doing these inspections for these
Hmm.
insurance companies. It's
Right.
it's just a mess,
They,
and you got to wait
yeah.
for that.
Yes. Yes.
You got to wait for that so the insurance company can make a determination on your policy
Mm.
and how it's going to be handled. And then once you get the inspection, now the insurance company's got 30, 45, 60 days to make a determination on your policy. And now you get a couple more months you got to wait but the backlog is so long,
Mm-hmm.
you're still waiting. A lot of those people are not. Majority of those people are not going to see anything with their property for probably a year. This time next year, it
More
might.
than that, I
You
think.
know, if they're lucky, this time next year, some of them are
Mm,
for a couple of years.
yeah.
You know, it's a couple of
Hmm.
years. It's going to be just. So
Yes.
you drive by your property for the next couple of years.
No, no
Look
property,
at
just land,
look at
just
your
empty
burnt
lot,
out structure of a home.
just
And when I say
lots.
it's burnt, I mean it's not it's not burnt like you still see what could have been a house. I mean it's burnt like it didn't most a lot of properties.
Hmm.
I barely saw anything sticking up over 6 feet tall on that
Only,
property.
only the trees, right?
Yeah, most
Tree,
of the structures, most of the homes
tree is still
were
there, 6 feet tall,
yeah,
standing
because
still.
our building practices over the last what 30, 40, 50 years have all been primarily wood
Wood.
based,
Hmm.
and the last 20 years it's been particle board
Hmm.
wood. You
Okay.
know,
Yes.
people talk about your properties. The what you see left standing is
Hmm.
where the property had stone or bricks or
Right. The
concrete.
chimneys, the fireplace part.
Yeah, chimneys. So we're talking about chimneys.
Right.
Some, if they still have brass piping, you see some of that.
How
But
about
everything else just gone.
kitchen island, the quartz still.
Depending on yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of those are just laying on the ground because
Um,
the stuff holding it up was all wood.
yeah.
It's
Well, bottom line, I'm so glad that you and your family are safe and you don't have to go
well,
anywhere.
we are too.
That's a
Lord
blessing. Oh
knows,
my God.
Lord
It's so
knows.
scary, scary, you know.
Yeah,
Right?
Lord knows. We
Mhm.
we could have managed, but it would have been one of those things. Like I have a friend who's just staying in Airbnbs because you couldn't get a goddamn hotel room anywhere.
Okay, so how much does your friend spend and how long can he or she last?
It's
Would
Airbnbs.
yeah, yeah. Because I'm trying to point out is what we just talk about permits and rebuild. Three can be three
Well,
years. You know.
well, this particular friend got lucky. Her house was not burnt down.
Oh, okay.
So her and her family are waiting to be let back in on the property legal for so their property didn't get burnt down. So they got
Okay, that's
lucky with
good.
that.
That's good. That's good.
But there are properties on
Hmm.
her street that are near on her street that are burnt, just gone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's I haven't gone to look at all my old homes I used to live in when I was a kid. I might
Mm.
do that Sunday. But
Sunday.
yeah, just go to the area and see, how far and because there's a lot of places where it hopped and skipped as it was going.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because the embers float.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Once the fire gets going so good, a lot of embers and stuff will float and migrate, and that's how the fire progresses faster.
Okay.
So it's a lot. There's a lot of damage,
Yeah.
a lot going on. That's
So
just unbelievable.
so that's why I'm so glad you guys are okay. And yeah, one I heard one of our mutual friend, his home is gone because
Yeah, I have some friends from high school.
he's right at the Palisade. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
have some friends from back in high school that because they live further north, and
Hmm.
their properties are just
No
gone.
more. Huh? Yeah,
There's nothing they
that's
can do.
yeah.
They're waiting to see, and they're waiting on the insurance to let them know what's going on.
Mm. Okay. All right. So we got 5 more minutes before we close out. Do you have any last word, last thing that you want to share before?
5 minutes?
Yeah, we've been on here for an hour already almost.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I know, right? Time go fast when you having a good time.
Yeah,
Well,
we got
yeah,
to deal with. We're definitely going to wind up coming back to all of these topics again because
of course. Yeah, I was when you're not on yet, I was telling, everyone that I took like a month or so break on YouTube. So now we're back in, so
yeah, this is there's
mhm.
so much.
Yes, every day there's
2025 is going to
something.
be
Every day there's something. So today's the time we're doing live. If you watch this later on, I believe Trump removed Biden's security, right? That's a new
Biden's
thing.
Social Security.
No, that's the security. The security. Like
Security detail.
he cannot access any of those classified information, any security
Oh,
information.
his clearance.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, why
so
not?
we haven't had a chance to talk about that. But
I wouldn't
anyways,
want him looking at any of that stuff either.
yeah.
I'm like,
he's
no,
he's I'm sorry to say, I'm not trying to disrespect elderly people or maybe a
he's
little,
no longer in a
you know,
position where he should be
yeah,
not even looking at, not only not looking at it, but
make
being
decisions.
involved in that conversation.
He should
He,
just rest.
yeah, he did
I
good. He
mean, go
lasted a
on
very long time. And
vacation. Go on
if he was still
vacation.
capable, I wouldn't have a comment on it.
Okay, true. Yes,
But
agree.
last
But
year of his presidency has proven he is no longer in a position where where he should be involved in any
hmm,
of that.
yes. Alrighty. So, thank you for joining me again.
Sure, thank you for inviting me.
Of course, every time. So next Friday we'll come back and we'll talk a different topic.
All right.
All right. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you get notification.
Not right
And
now.
not right now. No, subscribe
No,
right
no,
now.
no. I gotta consolidate all the stuff I'm doing. I've been spread out too much like an octopus. So I gotta pull myself back together
Yes.
and refocus. Yeah, especially in light of all the changes. So
Okay.
we're gonna see how this works out and what's going on this year.
Yes. Okay.
It's gonna be an interesting year, 2025.
Uh, yeah. Okay. Stay safe out there, everyone. And we will
Have
talk
a
to you
good
again
time.
next week.
See
Bye
you next
bye.
week.
Bye.
Bye.